Okay, so taking another look here at just a slightly more complex exponent example here. So again, the question's always going to ask us something like simplify the algebraic expression. So we need to simplify the algebraic expression. Now these problems here, if I'm looking carefully at the specific example, I notice there's not a plus or a minus, so I'm not going to be adding the terms or looking for like terms. I'm literally looking, can I actually multiply these things together because I see the times sign there. So thinking about my power rules, I notice that I've got brackets and I'm timesing terms. So I've got kind of two things I need to apply here. So the first thing I'm going to deal with is the same with BEDMAS or BEMO, order of operations. I'm going to deal with the brackets. Remember, when you have a power outside, you need to put that power onto every single thing. And how we do that in a way is you can think about timesing it through. Now a lot of people get confused and they'll just go 3 times 3. But that's not what we're doing. We need to go 3 to the power of 1 and times that power by the 3. So this becomes 3 to the power of 3. I have an invisible power of 1 again on the a, just like I did on the 3. So I'm putting that power on, and if there is a power there, I need to times in this case. So 3 and 1 becomes a to the power of 3. And here I'm going to be timesing. There's b to the power of 2, so I'm going to go b. 2 times 3 is 6. There's a c with a 5, so 5 times 3 is 15. I'm going to leave that like that for a minute. Look at the next one. In brackets, same idea. That power needs to get applied to everything, so that becomes not just 4, but 4 squared. And that's a to the power of 4, and we're going to times that. So a to the power of 4 times 2 becomes a to the power of 8. And b to the power of 6, if we square that, becomes b to the power of 12, because we're timesing the powers. So again, outside the brackets, you times the powers through. Those are getting timesed on there, and don't forget you actually have to put the power onto the coefficient as well. Alright, so now we can think about combining these because we don't have any brackets. So first things first might be to think about, okay, what's 3 to the power of 3? This is 27. And we have a3, b to the 6, c to the 15, times 4 squared is 16, a to the 8, b to the 12. Okay. Now that I'm just going to be timesing algebraic terms, remember when you're timesing, this is when we add the terms. So not add the terms, add the powers. So times, we add powers. And here with the brackets, you need to make sure you times the powers. Oops. Okay, so here I see I've got a3 and a8. Well, 3 a's and 8 a's becomes a to the power of 11. We've got a b6 and a b12, so we're going to get b to the power of 18. And I've got a c15 with no other c's, so I'll just leave it as a c to the power of 15. And the next piece, which is a pain for us, is we actually have to do the multiplication between 27 and 16. So think about doing that in any way you feel like doing. Scribble out all the working on the side of the paper, whatever it takes. But again, most of the time on the algebra exams, you're not allowed a calculator. And that works out, if you do it correctly, to 432. So my final answer there is 432, a to the power of 11, b to the power of 18, c to the power of 15. So just do these in 2 steps. Think about getting rid of your brackets first, then looking about timesing or adding or dividing or any steps that you've got next after that. So it's all the same rules that we've been working on, just applying them in multiple steps.